two, one. Welcome back to the AT Talks. We have a special topic. We're talking with ATsCare, and we're just going to talk for a few minutes what it is, how you can use it, frequently asked questions. We're here with Brittany and Isaac, so feel free to teach us.
So, ATsCare and the mission of the program is to have athletic trainers, supporting athletic trainers after the unfortunate event of having a critical incident, which could be the severe injury or death to an athlete, either on or off the athletic training or on the athletic field. It came out of a need as our leadership saw a need for it, and how are we taking care of ourselves and that mental health, well-being. Obviously, we're taking care of our athletes.
Yeah, I felt as if it was pretty important. I mean, I'm sure Isaac might have a similar story, but just personally, I saw the need after one of my student athletes passed away. He was a huge influence on our community, and so I'm not as familiar with like the history and kind of background of it, but as somebody who has utilized it before, it was really helpful for me to kind of go through the psychological aftermath of losing one of my athletes. I know I've used it after I got training from it. I've used it on athletic training students. I've probably used it more in just like personal day-to-day relationships, after somebody goes through a critical incident. And I think the biggest misconception is that, and maybe Isaac can piggyback off of this, but the biggest misconception I think is that it has to be from the death of an athlete, right? Or death of somebody that you know. But being athletic trainers, we go through critical incidences, some of us all the time, right? Somebody breaks their leg, somebody dislocates something. I know that one of my athletic training students, I had to use on it at the end or during football season this past year because they C-spined somebody for the first time. And then they went a little MIA on the sidelines, and after we kind of found them, I said, "Hey, what's going on, man?" He's like, and you could just see it in his face that he was pretty shaken up about it. So it's a great tool, I think, in the toolbox to have for me, but as someone who has gone through critical instances before, it's nice to talk to a peer, right? And I think the biggest pain in the butt is having some random person kind of come in from HR, whatever, saying, "Hey, like, what's going on? How do you feel? What's going on in your life?" This one is like, "Hey, I'm another athletic trainer, and I can talk to you one-on-one, like we're colleagues. I'm not going to talk, feel like you're talking down to me, and we can probably relate a little bit better."
Okay, so if we have a critical incident, how do we contact ATsCare? Does it matter what district you're in or just national level?
Nope, it doesn't matter if you are, it doesn't matter if you're in District 4, District 9. If you like Google ATsCare, it should be the first thing that pops up. You just have to like fill out a form or send them an email, and somebody will reach out to you. I know just other people knowing me, they've just kind of like, "Hey, can you like call this person?" And then like I'll call them. But you don't have to be an NAT member. You don't have to be certified. Like you can just be athletic trainer. You don't even have to be in the NATA to use it. And somebody will get a hold of you.
And I believe that each state and district are going through and setting up committees. And so within your state, there might be a committee dedicated. I know that Indiana has a committee that we're putting together, that contact resource to get out to all the IATA membership or athletic trainers within the state of Indiana. And that's just kind of trickling down from the national level to the different, and as more districts are becoming established with ATcares, like District 4 was one of the leaders at first to get that going. They kind of seem to be a little bit further along. That's how the more access, more numbers, the more Twitter handles that we have out there that people can reach out and say, hey, this happened at the school. You might want to reach out to the athletic trainer there.
Do we know what the email address is? Or do we just go to NATA and type in the search bar ATsCare?
I can get the email for you here. Just a second.
So I'm just trying to think, you have a critical incident, you're shaken up, maybe it's the next day, you're trying to write the report and you want to reach out to someone, but the NATA website isn't always the friendliest website to navigate.
So there it is right there. So it's ATsCare at nata.org. ATsCare at nata.org. You know, and in my experience, it's not always the athletic trainer that has experienced the critical incidents that reaches out. It's usually a friend or a colleague. Again, I know personally, going from someone who goes through a critical incident, I just want to talk to anybody. Like I was like, I don't want to see anybody. I don't want anybody to see me cry. I don't want to see me upset. And so somebody had to reach out for me. So I would say that it's probably the most helpful for a friend or, you know, for a colleague rather than the person who actually went through the critical incident. The email is probably the most important for.
You know, and I've monitored the state of Indiana through social media and news and looking for those critical incidences that make the headline to then just reach out to the, you know, within our committee, be like, hey, this happened. Does anybody know the athletic trainer at that location? And that's how we've started some stuff without reaching out to them and offering our service without them reaching out to us.
And then how do they ATsCare typically reach out to the athletic trainer? Just they'll email them or they'll give them a call and you'll see a random number come up?
We've done person-to-person meetings. We usually establish a conversation on the phone first. You know, it just kind of depends on the situation and the needs of that athletic trainer and what they're open to and needing, as well as the availability of locations, you know, depending on the size of the state and where there's a trained ATcare's team member.
Yeah, so like, for example, like I, you know, live in Las Vegas, but it's obviously a lot more challenging to meet somebody who lives up in Reno, like 6 to 8 hours away. So I'd probably do a phone call with them or email them as opposed to meeting face to face with them, as opposed to somebody who was at another high school who I see once a month or, you know, once a week or once every couple of weeks or something like that.
And if someone was listening and they're like, oh, I'm interested in being available to help these individuals, how does one go about getting the training needed?
So if you get on the ATcare's portion of the NATA website, there's a list of upcoming trainings. I know that they've gone through and are continuing to go through each of the district meetings to offer that training. And like I said, some states have an established committee, and so you can check with them as far as whether there's an application process or if you go through the training, you're automatically on the committee. You know, this is slowly trickling down, like I said, from the NATA, from the national level, and how that's being established is not the same everywhere, I think.
Yeah, this group is only a couple years old. So, you know, not only do you have to get trained yourself, but if you want to train other people, then that's kind of further training on top of that. So right now, I think the group, besides trying to help as many athletic trainers that reach out to us, They're trying to get people trained and then trained and how to train people. So like Isaac kind of said, they're going through, they've got the trainings listed right now in on the ATsCare part of the NATA website. And then they usually do one of the trainings at NATA every year. So that's like when I've done mine, I did both of my trainings at NATA. The first year I did the individual training, and the second year I did the group training. And I think there's a couple ones after that. So, you know, they're just trying to get as many opportunities, make sure that everybody who's interested can take the class. Yeah, I think you can contact Katie Scott from the NATA. She'll probably be able to send out an email with all the upcoming trainings if there's more than what's posted on the NATA websites. I do know I personally would prefer to like get trained with other athletic trainers, but I know that the group that trains us, like the CISM, they do trainings like all over the place. Like you could look up CISM trainings and you could probably do it not through the NATA, but I mean, I don't like other people besides athletic trainers, so I'd rather.
What's a CISM stand for?
Critical Incident Stress Management.
Okay.
I don't remember what the actual name of the group is, but I think if you look that one up on Google, you'd be able to pull it up.
Now, is this training a one-time deal and it's done, or do you have to get refreshed every X amount of years or something?
From my understanding of it, I think it's you get trained once, and then like you can do, so like if you do the individual training, like you can do the group training after that. But I think it's a one and done. I mean, me personally, it's like, you know, learning, you know, one of your special tests, and like you do it once and like you use it all the time, and that's how you get good at it. To me, I think this is kind of similar. Like you learn it, you practice it during training, you know, you incorporate it into what you do every single day, and you get really good at it.
Is that right, Isaac? Just one and done, or
yeah, and I know that they're starting last year. I believe it was the first year they offered like a refresher course at the NATA, the opening day at the annual meeting. I know I saw that come out from Katie Scott that it's on the agenda for Atlanta as well. Kind of a social hour. I think it was like a 4-hour session last year, and a couple hours of learning, and then a couple hours of interaction, socializing with the other ATcares members that are there.
Are there any frequently asked questions or concerns or issues people have when I don't know, trying to reach out to anybody, or does it seem to go pretty smooth? And
not that I've experienced.
Okay. Anything else we want to add, or we think we hit everything?
I think we're good.
Okay, well, I appreciate the two of you taking time out of your day to teach us about ATsCare and the possible impact they can have in helping other athletic trainers that go through a critical incident. So thank you for your time, and hope you guys have a good rest of your day.
Absolutely.
Same to you.
You guys too.
I would love to have you guys on for future topics. This is it's AT's Talk on Twitter. I don't know if you guys have Twitter, but
I follow. I think I follow you and the AT's Talk thing on Twitter. I'm Shap Athletic Training, so.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm working on being more social media savvy, but you know, tough sometimes.
That it is.
All right. Well, you guys have a great day.
Same to you.
You too.
Bye.
Bye, guys.